Have you ever wondered why some projects just take off and fly, while others seem to spin their wheels no matter how hard everyone works? Well, it's usually not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And today, we're going to dive into one of the most powerful tools out there for doing exactly that, the SWOT analysis.
Man, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We've all been there, putting in all the hours, all the effort, and just not seeing the results we want. It's frustrating, but the goal isn't just to be busy, it's to make sure all that incredible work is actually pointed in the right direction. And that is exactly what we're going to figure out today.
You know, without a proper framework, it's so easy to get what I call strategy blind spots. We get so caught up in the day-to-day grind, right? Head down, just getting things done. But while we're doing that, we can completely miss these huge opportunities sitting right in front of us. Or even worse, we don't see the dangers lurking just around the corner until it's too late.
So, what's the antidote to this blindness? It's the SWOT analysis. It sounds kind of corporate, but it's an incredibly simple and powerful framework. It just stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it's designed to pull you out of the weeds and give you that 30,000-foot view so you can finally get the clarity you need to make way better decisions. So let's break down exactly what this thing is. How does it actually work to bring that clarity to your big picture thinking? We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of it right now.
Okay, so why should you even bother with this? What's in it for you? Well, for one, it forces you to be brutally honest about where you really stand. It helps you pinpoint exactly where to put your time, your money, your energy for the biggest possible impact. And it helps you spot those risks before they blow up into full-blown crises. Ultimately, it's about making confident choices instead of just, guessing and hoping for the best.
All right, now we get to the core of the whole thing. We are about to map out your entire strategic landscape by looking at these 4 key areas. This is where the magic starts. And here's the beauty of it. It's just a simple grid. Look at this. On the top, you've got positive versus negative. And on the side, you've got internal factors, stuff you can control, versus external factors, which are things happening out in the world that you can't control. So your strengths and weaknesses, those are internal. Your opportunities and threats, those are external. It's really that straightforward.
Let's kick things off with the fun part, your strengths. These are your internal superpowers. Ask yourself, what do you do better than absolutely anyone else? What's your secret sauce? What unique skills or resources do you have? This is your time to brag a little.
Okay, deep breath. Now for the tough part, weaknesses. This is a no judgment zone, but you have to be brutally honest with yourself here. Where are you falling short? Where are your competitors eating your lunch? Look, resisting the urge to be defensive is key, because a weakness you can admit to is a problem you can actually start solving.
All right, we've looked inward. Now it's time to look outward, starting with opportunities. These are things happening out in the world that you can take advantage of. What new trends are picking up steam? Is there a gap in the market that nobody's filling? These are like tailwinds you can catch, but only if you're paying attention.
And of course, on the flip side of opportunities, we've got threats. These are the external storm clouds on the horizon that could really cause problems. What's your competition up to? What could make what you offer totally obsolete? Being a little bit paranoid here isn't a bad thing. It's actually the key to survival.
Okay, so at this point, you've probably got a long list of stuff for each of those 4 boxes. And that can feel, well, a little overwhelming, right? So this next step is absolutely critical. It's how we turn that messy brainstorm into a laser-focused action plan. And here's how we're going to do it. We use a simple but brilliant tool called an impact versus effort grid. It's easy. You just take every single item you wrote down, plot it on this grid, and instantly you'll see where you need to focus your energy. It's a super simple 3-step process to find out what really matters.
The logic here is just crystal clear. You want to find the things in that high-impact, low-effort box. These are your quick wins. This is the stuff that gives you the most bang for your buck. And on the flip side, you want to stay far away from the low-impact, high-effort stuff. Those are just resource drains that will kill your momentum.
All right, we've done our brainstorming, we've prioritized. Now comes the part where the real genius of the SWOT analysis shines through. A great analysis isn't just 4 separate lists. It's about connecting the dots between the lists to create powerful, actionable strategies.
First up, this is the home run strategy. You want to match your strengths directly with those external opportunities. Think about it. How can you use what you're already amazing at to ride a new wave or capture a new market? This is your most powerful move.
Next, you need to look at which of your weaknesses are holding you back. Is there some golden opportunity out there that you just can't grab because of an internal problem?
If the answer is yes, then fixing that specific weakness just shot right to the top of your priority list.
Time to play a little defense. How can you use your strengths as a shield against those threats you identified? This is all about leveraging what makes you unique and powerful to protect yourself from the storms that might be coming your way.
And finally, and this is just as important as knowing what to do, is knowing what not to do. If you have a major weakness that lines up perfectly with a big external threat, well, that's a danger zone. The smartest move isn't always to fight harder. Sometimes it's knowing which battles to avoid entirely.
When you put it all together, what this really all comes down to is this. You stop guessing. You stop just throwing things at the wall and hoping something sticks. The SWOT analysis is the framework that turns pure guesswork into an intelligent, informed strategy. It's the roadmap from where you are now to where you truly want to go. So you've got the framework now. You know how it works. But all the knowledge in the world is useless without action, right? So let's make this real. Forget everything else for just a minute and ask yourself this one question. What is the single biggest threat facing your goal right now? Start there. Analyze that one thing, and you're already on your way to a smarter strategy.